A sequence B. Good morning. It is Saturday, December 13th. And we'll start with sequence B. Make sure you put this behind the wall. And it's good with the door open for now. And your phone, put it out of there. I don't want to see your phone. So we put bags and phones outside so they're not distracting. And I don't like the bags in the, or whoever's coat this is, because I keep it like with my qigong and my flow. So we put our things in the hallway, please. Keep this space nice. And so little in behind the wall, like the visual. Yeah, pull this. No, it's not here. Your jacket and your bag. You take them and you walk around the corner and you put it behind the wall. And so what I'm trying to create and show you when I'm creating the space is how you're going to hold space and create for your students. Because when you have a room of people, and this is not a big group of people, if everyone's just putting like, if say there was 10 more people and they just have their coats in their bags, it looks like shit. So we're creating, it's not just coming to, oh, I'm stretching, it's the whole experience. It's how you show up. It's how you have every detail of your room. Well, like I woke up, I made sure to put everything. I have a candle in the bathroom in case you need to go number 2. I have new garbage bags. I have, everything, details. I was thoughtful. Um, and that's not just when you're holding a training, that's when you are just a teacher, you're taking care of space. So just absorb those details. There's a lot of things I'm doing in the training that I'm not saying that I'm doing it, but it's up to you to pay attention and like catch that. That's when you pay someone to take a training. You're watching them for those details. And you should pick them up also. All right, starting with our sequence B, let's come up to our backs. Bring on to your back and flatten your back. So take a few moments, take a few breaths. Flatten your back into the floor. Begin to focus on your inhale, the breath coming in through the tip of the nose. And the expansion of the body. No need to change, modify the breath just yet. Just watch your breath. Start to feel your breath dropping into presence, dropping into the room, dropping into your body. Feeling your whole back on the wall or on the floor. Can be a wall also. So begin to lengthen your inhale, feel your low back, your ribs press into the floor. You can even, if you have your knees bent, you can even use your feet to press your back into the floor a little more strong. So now we'll start right there. Inhale. Feel the belly rise, the bottom of the ribs open, the chest lift. And then squeezing the air out, closing the ribs. Start to bring in our ujjayi or our ocean sounding breath. That thick sound of your breath. So inflating the body. So bringing this thick sound to your breath. I'm feeling the rise and the fall, the body, the expansion of the ribs as you breathe in. So breathing up into the chest, stretch, stretch, stretch. But I need to hear your breath more, girls. It's very weak. I don't hear it at all. So ocean sounding breath, victory sounding breath. So think about if you're leading a class, you need to show them what to do. So use it as a massage. It's a physiological effect. The sound of the breath will make you calm. And when you have a whole class of people in a great ujjayi breathing, it really sounds like you're at the beach. So let's simulate the beach today in December. So breathing in through the nose, if it's possible for you, breathing out through the nose or mouth as you like. Just remember, breathing out through the nose is a containment of energy somewhat. And when you breathe out through the mouth, it's more of a release. So if you're like, you got a little more to release, you can. Just bring that thick sound. Just kind of go into your own world with your breathing, or bringing sensation of sound, of feeling, so you can enter your inner world and then enter into this meditation in motion of our practice. So keep breathing and we'll begin to tilt the pelvis. As I inhale, I tilt my tail down, press my coccyx into the floor, arching the back. And as I exhale, I'll press my low back to the floor. And then inhale, arching the back. It's easier to do when your feet are bent on the floor. And then exhale. And then inhale. And exhale. So tilting the pelvis, taking your time. Massage the low back. So we'll do 2 more breaths. Inhaling, tilting the pelvis, exhaling, pressing the back into the floor. And on the next breath, we'll bring our feet to the floor, knees are bent, and use the pressure of your feet on the floor to circle that low back. So we're the sacroiliac joint, we're circling the low back into the floor. So we call this the clock circles. So thinking where the top of the sacrum and your lumbar spine begin, that's 12 o'clock. And then depends if you go clockwise or counter, how you see that. I guess left is 3, tailbone is 6, right side is 9. So circle first one way. Taking notice if there's any jamming in that hip joint. Now circling the other way if you haven't already. Pressing each segment of the sacrum and the sacroiliac joint into the floor. Inhale and exhale. Very slowly, you can bring your right knee into your chest. Holding this leg, you can circle the leg in the socket. And I'm still kind of circling my low back also. So I'm just using the leg up and circling. And let's place that foot down and slowly bring up the other leg. So bring up the other leg, circle. Breathing, keep your breath strong. Place that foot down and extend both legs along the floor, both arms overhead into a full leg stretch. We'll place our feet on the floor again. Adjust the back, press the back into the floor, and we're going to do some crunches and engage the abs. So sliding your hands along your mat, close to towards your heels. So I'm going to kind of do Pilates style. I'm looking straight up at the ceiling. It's as though I have a small ball under my chin and holding it, my chin in place. And I'm going to come up, slide my hands and come up where I look between my knees, engage, pull the belly in and hold, and then we'll small pulses in the abs. Press the back into the floor. Engaging. No 4, 3, 2, and 1. And arms overhead, stretch the abs. Feel the core starting to warm. And now extend the legs along the floor. Squeeze your legs together as though you're squeezing a piece of paper between your knees. Bring your feet together also. Flex the toes. So I'm pushing from my heels. My feet are very strong. I'll bring my hands to behind my ears, like elbows on either side. I'm going to crunch up, engage the abs, and look at my toes like this. Same thing. So we're working that deep through the linea alba. You're going to feel it pull down that fascia line in your abs. You're going to feel it pull in. So pull towards the spine, push, little exhales. Keep flexing, keep squeezing the legs. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax, full body stretch. Deep breath in, stretch the abs. Next, we'll bend the knees And I'll bring my hands under my low back and legs straight up. Here we're gonna activate the low abs in your transversus abdominis. They wrap and they go under the rectus abdominis super deep. So I'm gonna take my legs like down 15-ish degrees and then up, straight up and lift, like my toes are being pulled to the ceiling. Let's start with 15 of these, go at your own pace. So we go down, up, lift, down, up, lift. So think of yesterday in the Mula Bandha, that low body lock, down, up, lift, down, up, lift, down, up, lift, down. Keep going. 7, 6, 5, getting warmer. 3, 2, and 1. And bring the knees in. Breathe. I'm going to cross my ankles. My knees are pulled in, and I'm going to use this position to rock and roll myself up to seated position. So we have that nice fire. Now from that, we're going to go right into Kapalabhati or breath of fire. So inhale. This is the one where we and really move into the abs. So we just turn them. They're there. Then breathing in. And begin little. And inhale. I'm doing between like 30 and 40. I'm like counting 20 and then 20 is what I'm doing, if you're wondering. And just do as many as you can. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale to move another 2 rounds. So inhale and begin. Inhale. And exhale. So really feel that warm, the fire, the core. So turning up your core before you start any activity is gonna like up your metabolism and you get more burning from your body. One more time, inhale. And breathe in. So from here, let's move into table pose. So bring yourself into your table pose. And a little bit of cat and cow settling on spine. So sliding forward and back. Remember, you can do your modified cat and cow. Traditional cat and cow is this one, really arching and contracting. And remember what we talked about, what your neck requires, what your different parts of your spine requires. So feel along your own body what's needed. And pretty safe rule across the board is no one should be doing this with their neck. Doesn't matter how healthy your neck is. So just like avoid this at all costs. You know, a lot of people and students, you'll see them like this, but it's really doesn't help their spine. So we just want to look straight forward if you're going to look anywhere and really try to get that arch in the upper back, the feeling more in the upper back. Move slowly. Using the breath to fill you and using the exhale. And inhale 2 more. And exhale. And 1 more. This time we're gonna inhale and we'll curl the toes under, we'll press back through that knee downward dog, press back, press back, press back, look under your knees. Release the neck, just walk the feet towards the hips. And very, very slowly roll up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. If rolling up is causing any problem or issue for your back, you can always do front back. So choose the modification best for your body. So we'll do a few rounds of sun salutation to continue our warm up. Make sure you have your blocks if you need them or have them around. So we'll inhale the arms up. And exhale, fold, coming all the way down, hands on either side of the feet or on the block, stepping the right foot back. Stepping the left foot back. Fold and plank. Inhale, we'll bring knees, hips, belly to the floor. Squeeze the hands are under the shoulders. Squeeze the elbows rather. Inhale, up. Squeeze the glutes. Press the tripod of the pelvis into the floor. And then exhale, press back. Roll through the spine. Inhale, come forward to table pose. Exhale, curl the toes, press back. So we're gonna keep these like fluid vinyasa sun salute. Looking forward, step the right foot forward. Step the left foot forward. And either roll or come up with a flat back. If you do flat back, you can come up halfway and then down. And then come up all the way, or you can take your time and roll up, your choice. So just keep that in mind for all of them. You can choose which one. I'll alternate which ones I'm doing. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Hands on either side of the feet. You step the left foot back this time. Get your hands on the floor and then right foot goes back. Plank, inhale. Exhale, knees, hips, belly to the floor. Squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, pull yourself forward, lift up, shoulders back. Inhale, press back. Exhale, pull into the low abs, child's pose. Inhale, right out of the child's pose through table. Exhale, curl the toes, downward facing dog with bent knees. Inhale, start to step the left foot forward. And then stepping the right foot forward. And either flat back or roll up, your choice. Take your time. And again, inhale. And exhale. Hands on either side of the feet, right foot steps back. Left foot steps back. Plank. Inhale. Exhale. Body comes down, squeeze the elbows in, squeeze, inhale. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the back body, tripods up the hip at the floor. Exhale, come down, push back. Inhale, come up through the table. And kind of roll up through my spine, and then exhale, press back. Inhale, looking forward, stepping the right foot forward. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, flat back or roll up. And one more time, inhale. And then exhale. Way down, hands on either side of the feet. Left foot goes back. Right foot goes back. Knees, hips, body, squeeze. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bring it down. Hands under the shoulders, press back. Through the child, inhale through table. Roll the toes, exhale, press back. Inhale, look forward, the left foot steps forward. And then the right foot steps forward. Let's roll it up this time. All right, and just stand. So standing, receiving. We have now completed our warm-up. So we'll go right into the practice standing back bend. It's foundation of mountain pose. So I'll bring my hand to my low back and looking straight ahead. It's like I'm lifting from my chest straight up. So I'm gonna squeeze and go up. Squeeze the glutes. So just think about the cobra we just did. We're kind of in the same position, just standing. And then just see if you can bring your shoulders a little bit behind your hips. Usually we're trying to stack shoulders over the hips, so I'm going up and back and not compressing in my lumbar. So lifting up, squeeze the elbows together. And you don't have to take the shoulders past the hips. We're just kind of aiming there. So really open through the chest, squeeze. Breathe, 2 more breaths. So this position should make it so you're like, I have to really pull my air in because my lungs are stretched. This cavity that my lungs live in is stretched. Really reach, be strong, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, exhale, contract your abs and use that power to bring your rib cage back on top of the hips. We'll see the pose, feel the heat from the warm up moving in. We'll have a very strong practice today, so keep your breath flowing. Next, we'll go into the warrior 3 jackknife. Right leg can step back, right hand squeezes in, left arm comes up. Remember when the arm comes up, not to have this going on, the arm comes up. So if it needs to be here, that's fine too, or a little bit out, that's fine too. Find a point and your angle will decrease. We're going to start to go back, slide back, and hold for 4 breaths. So I'm really energizing this line. Really, and my hips are square to the front. So I don't want to open, so try to correct the hips, and I can do that with rotating the back foot and breathing. Let's do 2 more breaths for this one. I'm really pushing from that back foot if I'm rotating also. The rotation helps me close my hips. My standing leg is working. And inhale, bring it back. And stand. 2 breaths. So next one, left leg steps back. So I'll stand from my mountain pose, extend back, squeeze that arm, bring that arm, other arm up. So from here, make your line, energize your line, and then take it forward. And hold and breathe. So don't remember, yesterday we spent a lot of time talking about what? Setting up your pose. So don't skip the setup or it just will be not it. It could be breathing. Good. Make yourself long. You want to feel powerful in all your poses. So find a position that is powerful for you, even if the toe is on the floor, as long as your lines are strong. And bring it in. Rest. 2 integrating breaths. Here you can have the feet about hip distance apart. We're going to do standing forward fold. So yogi's choice, you can roll down or you can inhale the arms up and come down. So you can decide, you can bend the knees, come down, like this, or really straighten the legs and hang out. So choose what feels nice for you this morning. If we have more bent knees, we're stretching more in the low back. If we straighten the legs more, we're stretching more in the backs of the legs and hamstrings. Leave your breaths. You can have hands, elbows on the knees. You can have elbows holding the other elbow. Taking forward fold, one more inhale and one more exhale here. In yogi's choice, you can come up with a halfway and then come up with a flat back, or you can roll all the way up. Choose your own adventure. So next we'll squeeze the legs together. We're going to do half movements. Squeeze one arm into the body and one arm will come up. And I'm going to stretch to the side. And I'm gonna really just like squeeze this. I want to feel like I'm between I'm between two like sheets of paper. And so open, shoulder down, and I'm gonna look towards the down arm side. And rotate with the shoulder blade, pull it in, and breathe. Yeah, so this, yeah, keep it out. So I would correct that always. Yeah. And then legs together. So really stretching and opening that side of the body. Squeezing the glutes. Bringing the pelvis forward for stability. When I go off of my axis, so I need a little more stabilizing in the lower body when I'm reaching off of my center. And inhale and bring it center, and we'll take 2 breaths center. So just feel that side of the body. And we'll prep the other side. So it elongates this arm downward, and then you can bring the arm up. Keep that shoulder out of the ear. Bend to the side. Because it's not about how far over your arm goes. And in fact, the hand is going to be kind of like not past the central axis of the head. It shouldn't be that far. So. And then squeeze that shoulder blade on the back. Remember that broadness through the chest. Squeeze the glutes to support that. The whole body is working together, pressing into the floor. Breathe. Inhale, exhale, and then bring yourself center. Let that arm float down, receive the pose, feel that opening on either side of the ribs. And then next we'll go into easy triangle. So we'll separate the feet, not as wide as you can, but wide enough. And my weight is still even, and you can turn sideways on your back. I said being sideways for these ones. And this one, you might want your block near your foot. This is the one that we're gonna reach with. So if you like to have the block there, or you can just push on the inside of the knee, but sometimes it's nice to have the block. So from here, we'll inhale the arms into 5-pointed star with the palms forward. Inhale, and I'm gonna turn my left foot open just a little bit and bend into that front knee, but not a super bend, just soften the knee. I'm gonna reach forward, maybe bend my knee a little more, and then tilt myself over, bring my back of my hand to my knee, and really open. You can choose to look down or up, whatever position your neck feels more safe, and we breathe. So we just stretch that side, and now we're strengthening. So think of pulling in the belly, pressing the pelvis open towards the front. It's a little awkward to do that in this position. That's why it's so strong feeling. And breathe. Reaching straight up through center. Release your hands. Keep the feet in this position. We'll take 2 breaths here. And exhale. Slowly turning the right foot open slightly and softening that knee open a little bit. We'll open the arms, palms forward, 5-pointed star, expansion. Reach over that bent leg and then hinge yourself down. palm comes to the back of the knee. So I'm pressing open through my chest, open through my hips, breathing. Breathe, pull the belly in, stabilize the body. Wrap the ribs, think of the low ribs closing, giving you support, giving you power. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, then inhale yourself up. Release the arms down, and you can heel and toe the feet together. And stand for 2 breaths, feeling on both sides of the body. So kind of from the top of the hip up through the ribs. From here, we can come again to the front of our space. We're going to go into the warrior one. So hands come to the hips, right foot steps back, front knee over the front ankle. Remember, you have many modifications, variations within the warrior one. Depends how adventurous you're feeling that day. When you hear where you work more, it can be here, it can be flat foot, choose your own adventure. Ground down, stabilize. And then from here, you'll inhale your arms up. So you can inhale the arms up, reaching shoulders down. And bring that front knee over the front ankle and hold and breathe. Yeah, good. And remember, you want to always check with your front foot, especially, Ayla, that you can like move, that you're not stuck in the ground. Okay. A little more here, like pull in a little more here. And one more breath in. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. I'm going to push off my back leg and bring it in. And stand. So when you push off that back leg, you should really feel the glute of the foot that was in the front. Because you'll need that for the jackknife, for the warrior once it involves. So next, we'll step the left leg back. Same thing. Get into that side. Check if both of your sides are functioning the same. Doesn't mean anything if they are or aren't. It's just data for you. Find that strong foot position, and then when you're ready, inhale the arms up. And round and hold. So here, I don't even have a very wide stance. You can also be more, if you want more challenge, you can. And breathe. And 2 more. And 1 more. And bring the hands down, and we're going to press off that back leg. Bring it in. And stiff. So next we'll go warrior 2. We step the right side back. So I always brush that side of my body open. Bend into the front knee. Bend into that front knee. Crease of the hip. Angle. Think of the chest opening, stretching open. Arms coming from there. Hips open. These areas hold. So I like to get settled in my pose, and then I settle somewhere. And our drishti, or our focal point, is the middle fingernail, the front hand. And I'm just doing my micro movements and checking with little rotations. How do my scapula feel like they're the best on my back? How can I tilt and pull my abs in a little more? How are my feet? I don't want to be rolling in or rolling out. Do I feel stable? Inhale. Exhale, 1 more inhale. And exhale, release the arms, turn the feet forward. We're going to go into standing forward fold, soften the knees slightly. And enjoy your standing forward fold 4 breaths here. Ground down into the feet, begin to slowly roll up. And then we'll heel and toe the feet together. Stand for 2 breaths. So then coming to the front of our space again, we will do the other side. So standing in the front of your space, left leg is going back. So I take my left arm, I sweep it over my body, bend into my front knee. General rule, general-ish, the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot. It's like if I was against, again, a lot of my poses, I'm kind of going like, I'm going like pharaonic mode, you know, I'm going too deep. So I really, it's like I'm between 2 pieces of paper. So I want to like kind of squeeze my body in between. Like if there was 2 panes of glass, we use that in the dance world a lot, that visual. I don't know if it's that useful. When am I ever going to do 2 panes of glass? I hope never. And then then I will tilt my pelvis a little bit. So bring this foot more. Yeah, because you want to have it like. Yeah, and then we're. It's from there, not from here. And so I want to like open the hip and row this front leg rotation. Sometimes I will manually take the left, rotate it also. Be like, oh right, that's what I need to extend. So the active burning parts in this pose should kind of be this front leg. Active burning. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale, extend. And exhale, I'm going to turn my foot to the front and same thing. Standing forward, hold, soften the knees, take it down, relax the back. Inhale and exhale. Bend the knees, we're going to slowly roll up. Just for the record, in the sequence B that we're doing today, there is no wide leg forward fold written in the sequence. It fits really well and naturally after it, so you can always modify, and yeah, you're not trapped in anything. So we're gonna take it to the floor. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, you can fold, drop down as you like. Let's enjoy forward fold. Also not in the sequence, but we're going to the floor, so you might as well make a whole drama out of it. And let's bring hands to the floor. I'm going to bring one knee down and one knee down. We're going to get set up for our downward facing dog. We'll start with the bent knee, downward facing dog. We'll do the 4 breaths there, and we'll come back into table and to our 2 integrating breaths. And then we'll go back. You can go stay into the bent knees, or you can walk, and you can explore other things. So coming into table pose, setting your hands, setting your knees. Nice and strong. Inhale, reach the chest forward, widen through the collarbones. Inhale, as you exhale, curl the toes under, take your toes back, take your tail back, I should say, and press, and belly comes to thighs. Downward dog, press your palms strongly into the floor, look under. Breathe, lengthen the spine. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, come forward, bring your knees to the floor. We can take in 2 breaths here or come into a Seiza seated pose. This is the worst shirt possible for downward dog. That just goes like this over my head. But when we're under, we're kind of like looking under if it's not inside of your shirt. So let's get ready, inhale. And then exhale, take it back. You can take that same variation we just did, or you can straighten the legs, alternate straighten the leg. We're gonna stay for 4 to 8 breaths. So you can alternate stretching and opening the calves. You can extend one leg back and up. What do they call it? Dog leg tail. Just keep breathing, whatever variation you do. Give each side the same attention. Keep those lines of energy shooting from the body. 2 more breaths. Breathe, enjoy the downward dog. Get that hammocking action in the upper back. From downward dog, I'm gonna take my feet back, slide them back a little bit, push into my toes, and I'm gonna roll through my spine and come into plank. So I kind of roll to plank and roll. And breathe. Move forward. 3. 2. And bring the knees down, take it back, child's pose. We'll inhale up from here, and we're coming on to our knees for the gate pose. So gate pose, I turn to the long side of my mat, this way. And I'll extend first my left leg, so it's pointed forward. Also not needing to be pointed forward, so just see where they go, but that seems to be the most comfortable spot. So from here, abs are engaged, and then we're going to bring the arm opposite of the leg up and arch towards our leg. So I have my other hand here, and another side bend. And also maybe inner thigh stretch, or inner thigh bend, not a bend. Stretch. And breathe. So anchoring that dip of the knee that's down, anchoring up from there. And again, that 2 panes of last visual, I don't want to twist too forward. I don't want to twist too back. I want to try to really angle myself, all of my lines, staying in the lines. And make my shape very 2-dimensional. So if I was like drawing a stick figure of all the yoga shapes. One more breath in. And coming back. You can use your hands to support bringing in your leg, or just bring it in. And coming into seiza, you can curl the toes and sit on the toes, stretch the feet. 2 breaths. And next we'll come back up, other legs. Or find your position. And one leg out, the same arm of the leg that's out is resting, and then we inhale up. And we stretch that other side of the body. We want to take spaciousness in the body, open, but also strong. Bring yourself back to center, bring that knee in, coming into seiza. So in sequence B, we have the half circle. Half circle is like a very intense. So we come on to our back. This is the one like you probably did when you were a kid. Where we put the hands under and then we lift our stomach up to the sky. So just take care. So I press my feet into the ground, I lift, I press my arms into the ground, I lift, I go upside down. Breathe. Modification for that, 100%. Breathe and come down after your 4 breaths. Your modification for that would maybe be like a kneeling back bend, but because of your lumbar, I would say you're fine to skip it. Supported back bend, so you can support your back like this, and just kind of similar to the when we did the similar to camel pose, but now after you told me about your MRI, you should be careful with camel pose also. Until you talk to your doctor, you should take like your list of poses when you go and be like, and check them for your own self, and then it will change as you do your physio, as you do your treatment. So in the meantime, support your back, because you don't want to have too much compression in your back during that time, especially for the left side. So different things you can do in that time is think of this part of the body lengthening, and just like when I'm doing this and lengthening, what's happening here is I'm strengthening more in my abs, and then that will help keep you safe. So I'm really like, I'm here, I'm gonna lift from here. It looks like I'm not doing a lot, but I'm very, very, very holding strong here. So yeah, you can be in this position and support your back. Squeeze the shoulders like we did in Cobra, and just from like here, just a little bit. But don't worry about going even back too far. And stay in, squeeze the glutes, and then like for your here, you're like from here, you're like so much burning. So yeah, create that more strength there, and then you'll be more safe to move into those things. So when I'm here, I want the strength from here to bring me back. Move before I increase the hips. So it's like my abs close and they bring me back, and then that will like keep your whole core area safe. But yeah, stay stay careful until you go and see your doctor in that time. Yeah, half circle is crazy. How are you guys upside down? It's fun. As long as you keep breathing, it can be fun. And then to be honest, like I would omit that one if I had a class full of older people. I would just throw it out. I'd be like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with that. So again, make your choice. We can insert, but I just really want to go through the sequence as you like. Okay, so let's go next, belly down. We're going to come into our classic cobra. So classic cobra. We'll take all the points we worked on yesterday of lengthening. We come down, we prepare, we walk the hips back. I'm going to bring my hands kind of out to the front corners of my mat and come up. I kind of pull myself forward and push myself up also. So here, again, this is another position that you want to be careful of the compression in your back, and just go carefully. You can also modify it with the Sphinx, where I pull out of myself, out of my hips is what I mean, kind of like pulling myself out of my hips to just keep that compression less. Squeeze the buns, really put the tripods of the hips, the pubic bone, the 2 hip bones, and find your position to breathe. Because sometimes when you have injury or like on the edge of injury, it's not necessarily something that's like, it's gonna burn right away, but it's like, it will just like wear down the part, so we want to like, again, avoid that. I believe in effort, but I don't believe in like putting yourself through pain for no reason. You don't, life has enough pain. And exhale, bring yourself down. We can rest. We can bend the knees here and just windshield wiper. A little bit side to side. And then we'll bring the hands under the shoulders and press back into child's pose. And inhaling ourselves up. So next, we're going to prep ourselves for the half locust pose. So again, the third belly down position. Just doubled up my mat for my pubic bone. And we'll bring the hands to the front and the forehead down. So let's squeeze the legs together. We're going to do the variation of it, small, inhaling the legs up, and then we'll do the one where we put the foot on the knee. So pressing your hips into the floor, making that strong base. When I inhale, I'm going to inhale and look slightly forward as I extend my right leg. So inhale, extend the right leg, squeeze the glute, look forward. And exhale down. Then we do the other side. So take your time, go with your own breath. Inhale, extend through the left leg. Someone's pulling your leg back and up. And exhale down. Again, right side, inhale. And exhale down. And left side, inhale, extend the head and the foot away. Exhale down. For the next, we're going to extend the arms and opposite arm, opposite leg. You can leave the head not really that involved, just a little bit. So inhale, right leg, left arm. Inhale, reach away from one another, tracking front and back. Exhale down. Right arm, left leg on your inhale, extend them away from one another. Squeeze the hamstring, squeeze the glute. And exhale down. Right leg, left arm again, moving like this. Inhale. Reach, exhale down. And last one, right hand, left leg, inhale. And exhale down. I'm going to bring my hands back under my head. And I will bend the left foot. I'm going to extend the right leg up and put it on that left knee. And hold and breathe. Keeping our balance as best as we can. Trying to keep that leg extending back. I'm trying to keep my hips pointing front, like to the floor, instead of like opening to the side. So I'm like really grabbing my arms like within my body and trying to turn my hips to the floor as much as I can. One more breath. And release the leg and bring it down. And then bending the right knee, extending that left leg. Take your time, lift it up onto the knee, hold and breathe. So this pose can create stretch through the abdominals, traction in the hip, strengthening in the back. What's this called? This is the half lotus. We did it yesterday. We did it deliberate time yesterday. Yeah, this is the one. If you see, like usually the hand position is like what you have your hands in, and then they have both feet like up and over. Not the scorpion. No, the scorpion's like balancing on the hands. And then release. Yeah, this is like if you ever have in your yoga dream to do scorpion, this would be like working. That's my dream. Or working up. Yeah, this would be like a working up towards it. To do that. This is that. And child's pose, rest the back. So we had lots of compression in that pose in the back side. I take 4 breaths here. So yeah, I gave the girls a quote from James Clear yesterday, Mama. that was saying, when dreaming, think big, when executing, think small. So that applies perfectly for Scorpion, because it will be not just huge doing gymnastics that you get it, you'll just injure yourself, but it's small consistency, you get stronger and you notice it too. But it's being consistent as you can. Even if it's just like a couple minutes, really, the neural pathways of the body responds really well to that. Like say you're like, I have 1 hour a week. It's better if you divide the hour into like 10 minutes a day than just once a week, you know? So it stays fresh in the neural pathways. So after your child will inhale up, we'll do posterior stretch or staff or seated forward fold rather. I'm gonna do my seated forward fold today on my box. You don't have to, but I'm going to. And then we flex the feet and we can just move it forward. So here, this one is active, it's young, it's not in the yin. Our pose lab today, we're doing a few that we're doing crossover yin and yang. You'll see why it's different. So I'm really trying to take myself forward. Stretch through the back, stretch through the back. This is another one also, if you have your strap, you can use the strap to like build strength through the back and hold yourself like that and build the flexibility gradually. So find your variation and stretch. And stretching the posterior chain at the back, chain, body, chain. Chain of what? Fascia. More inhale, more exhale. And then inhale yourself out slowly. And just sit for 2 breaths. We're going to keep this position because our next pose, Rajakapotasana, or the seated spinal twist. So I'll bend my left knee. Mostly, yeah, anytime I have sitting ones, adjustment is helpful. So like sitting up tall, I'm going to inhale the right arm, cross the elbow over the left knee, and then my left arm, I'm going to take it up and over and bring it behind me as close as I can. You can also have your hand set on a block behind you if you want that little lift. It's quite nice actually. So bring that hand in super close to your back because you're going to use it as a leverage for your pressing back and lengthening the spine. So bring this hand that's back in close to your bum. You can have it on a block or so bring it in because you're going to use this for, I'm using it as like support in my back. Twist and look over the shoulder. Complete the twist with your eyes. So my eyes are at like the most left corner they can go. Lengthen up from the crown of the head like you're balancing something up there. And gently release. Rotate back to center, extend that leg. So when I'm saying to put the hand here, I put it here and like watch my back. I use it as, because if I'm here, I can kind of like go like this a bit. So I bring it here and it's like, it's my own elbow is in my back and this keeps me like more upright. So let's try it on the other side. We'll bend that right knee. And then my left hand will inhale and cross that elbow. And then my right hand, I'll bring it up and around. And this helps me open through the chest, bring it close in. And you can even bring a block close in if you want more of that grabbing. So I'm using these as levers, my arm and my knee, pressing very strongly. And then this back arm, I'm using it as a lever to like lean in and twist around it. Breathe. Super, super active. Super, super twisted. And one more inhale. And exhale, let yourself unwind. Like feel that unwind happening. Come back to the center. And 2 integrating breaths here. So we're gonna transition onto the floor on our backs. We have a knee down press. And then we have a fish pose. So let's take it one knee in and lengthen the other leg along the floor. A modification is that you can even bring the foot in, and I'm bringing my knee kind of towards my armpit. And breathe. And this way I can stretch through the back of my hamstring, through the hamstring or the back of my thigh a little bit. And I'm going to extend through that leg that's on the ground. I push through the heel, extend, stretch through the front of my pelvis. And 2 more breaths. And bringing that leg down. Take a full body stretch. And as you exhale, left leg comes up and in. You can hold the knee, or if you want that extra back of thigh stretch, you can hold the foot, pull the knee into the armpit. And you can also use your strap for this if it's not comfortable for your arms.
Is it normal that the one on the ground is not stretched fully? It's that been pending.
It's normal. It's just a matter of opening the flexibility. So it's like through the front of it's quad flexibility through the quad, but yeah, it's normal. Yeah. We want to go for the straight as much as we can. So how you can try to help that is pressing through the heel a little more. It will bring the leg closer a bit. And release that leg. Let's take full body stretch along the floor. Next we have the fish. I remember the first time I saw fish pose, I was like, that's crazy. So we'll bring the hands under the back. And I bring my elbows under my back. Bring my elbows as close together as I can. And I'm pressing from my heels down on the floor as much as I can. So then I'll push. When I push into my elbows, it lifts my chest, and I'm going to come back up on my head. And I have a super arch in the back. And I'm holding, breathing. Really flex the feet, pull the toes towards you. 2 more breaths. Keep pressing in the arms. And 1 more, and release your elbows, bring it down. You can take your hands out from underneath of you and pull your knees into the chest. Release your back. So from here, we're going to go into our relaxation. If you want to put on your other layer, your socks or something to be more comfortable. And your way into the space. When you come onto your back for final relaxation, remember you can have legs straight, legs bent, however is a restful time for you. Coming onto your back and preparing for Shavasana. So again, having the knees bent, having the knees straight, whatever one you like, what works for you. Feel the effort that you put through your body this morning, strengthening, lengthening, opening, taking this integration time to make our new shape. Allow the breath to flow in and out of the nostril easily, naturally, no need to control or restrain the breath. Allowing your fascia to have a moment to realize what just happened. I just did all of these shapes in my body. Taking your time in your relaxation affirms in your nervous system, affirms in your body that it's okay to be stretched and pulled in different directions. We did it on purpose. So we use the practice of yoga on the mat for a practice for life, putting ourselves into difficult situations that make it hard for us to breathe, yet breathing through them. Training ourselves for intensity in life that will for sure come up. Allowing the breath to flow with no need to control or restrain in any way. Inhale. You get a big one. And begin to bring some movement back into the fingers and the toes, the extremities of the body. And inhale yourself to full body stretch when you feel ready. Inhale and exhale, slowly turn yourself onto the one side. And take your time to use your arms to come up into a comfortable seated position. From your seated position, we're going to prepare for Shodhana, our alternate nostril breathing. So I'm gonna close my right nostril and inhale through my left nostril. Close my right and exhale, or close my left and exhale through my right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close and block and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Block and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Block and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Block and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And continue for a few more rounds. Exhale through one, inhale through the same. Block the one we inhaled from, exhale through the opposite. Inhale through the same. Block and exhale. Block and exhale. We'll get ready to finish Nadi Shodhana. When we finish our last inhale is on the right side, and your last exhale is through a left side. So when you complete an exhale on the left side, then you can breathe freely through both nostrils. And then just sit mindfully. Then we'll close our practice with the sacred vowel sound of O. And then we'll breathe in, we'll do continuous Om. So we'll breathe in until you have no breath, and then breathe in, and we'll do it for 3. It doesn't matter if we're all at the same time, I'll just do 3, so we'll breathe in. And that by hands on either side. You can walk the hands away, creating space between the shoulders, and then letting the other hands up. And then hands together, bring them down through the center, hands to the heart, moment. And let's stay with us. And we just shake it out and back into the space. Take a minute. We'll take 5 after our practice here, and we're gonna get into feedback. How you feel? How it went? What is that? Okay. All right. So yeah, think about the twist. Anytime that we're twisting, it's important to note that the lumbar spine doesn't twist. So the largest vertebrae of the spine don't twist. They have very minimal movement. They're not intended for that. They're intended for support. It's at the bottom of the spine. The twist takes hold and takes more shape in the thoracic ribs. That's why we really feel the ribs when we twist. And then it takes even more shape in the cervical spine, the more small. We have way more movement ability because the joints, just like our hand has tiny joints, the neck is more small, allows more movement. So then I'm there, like here I'm looking straight. If I take my eyes and go more, it's actually the spiral of the fascia, the back of your optic nerve, the back of your eye is also spiraling. It's not just your skeleton. So you're really like creating this spiral feeling. I think you were all here when we did the eye exercise, like we did the eyes on from the corner to the side to the side. Eye exercise is kind of like overlooked in a lot of local schools. They bring it in, it's in Indian dance a lot, which is how I incorporated it. It wasn't from my yoga teachers. But I felt like a very strong result from doing it, an awakeness and aliveness, because when we're moving anything, it's gonna have an effect in the body. Like, don't think that anything you do, your body doesn't notice. Even if you're like, it was just once, the body, we can mental gymnastics ourselves and all we want in our mind, but every single thing we do leaves an imprint in the body. So yeah, cueing, use the eyes, and then continue your spiral. Look as far behind you as you can. If there's a physical cue in the room, as an example, we'd say, I'm like here, I'm here. I'm here. The physical cue is like I can see the door, but like, can I see the mirror? Yeah, I can. So like I'm gonna try to use a physical cue that's even possibly at like my 9 o'clock. If my personal clock is like 12, 3, 6, 9, I'm gonna try to go so it's like 75 75% around my circle of that. Yeah, the eyes will add a lot, because you can try with or without the gaze of the eyes and you'll feel the difference big time. So, yeah, great observation. Anything else from the practice? Any questions from the practice besides observations? Anything?
Yeah, during downward dog, I feel like my back is not doing the thing that this slide thing.
Okay.
How can I work on that?
Work on it with this one.
Part of
Yeah. Work on it with this one. Between that one, we're just opening, and then just this one. Sliding forward, sliding back. Really like play with it and make yourself pretend you're being a robot. I am a robot, like really like go into that playing. So what does that mean? What does it mean to pretend I'm a robot? Wait a minute, what does that mean? So all of my joints, like you think of Barbie for an example, like her arm would rotate or just rotate, depends on the model. So they just rotate. So think to yourself that you have limitations, we do, but just make it even more limited. So I can only move from these joints. I can only flex and extend from this joint, and I'm gonna try to make it as smooth as possible. So part of that action is this, that crease, decreasing the angle and opening the angle of that. And part of that is that sliding back and coordinating them all together. When you get it, you will feel it. Like it's like, you'll feel like you're in those lines of energy. So practice coming forward, practice going back, and then just practice like small, and then just practice sliding back and forward and back, and just get used to that like repetition movement, and then the body will come slowly after. And then I can check I'll check it later, your downward dog. Yeah, cool. Anything else?
downward dog, the pelvis, like.
I can end you. Yeah, I always have to go. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go and listen to. Like. No, you look good. Put your tail up. Like there's like the tail goes up. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I had to.
Yeah, because yesterday we talked a lot about putting the tail down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like definitely put your tail up. And I think that's what gives it part of the dog quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, your back's not bad actually. You know what is
There's this little thing.
it's your hands. Yeah, here, come down. Oh. And so your shoulder, like, okay. So when you're making your hands, you wanna just go with wide, and like I have this action of my hands, and when I have this. It brings in some of my deep, I'm able to activate my deep core wide, and I'm able to stabilize myself better. So your hands are kind of like this. Like not engaged, and then you're like this. So then it kind of like compromises the strength of the shoulder girdle. So how to activate that? Come down on your hands like this. I open the crease of my elbow is inward. So I'm taking the crease of my elbow and spiraling it inward, and even my fingers are like pulling them inward. So the finger roots are very connecting on the floor. So very, very, very. And then I'm gonna put my upper body strength forward and just like lift my upper body from there and see if it engage from there. So I'm gonna just practice this coming forward and back. But it's going to engage a lot differently through the arms, but it will just take practice. And see if you can put your thumbs, extend them out straight extend straight out. So yeah, more just like practice that, and if you need to do some hand opening. So they can sit more comfortably on the floor. So really you want to have like your strong plank, and then you can lean back and forward. Yeah, the back's a little bit better. So what happened with the hand is you're able to kind of put the scapula more on the back and broad.
They should be away from each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of like. They're kind of like that. Yeah, you don't want to be bunched up. Yeah, broad down the back. We want them always to be, always.
I always forget to widen my scapula away from the shoulder.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Don't forget. Yeah. That's one of your cues, and that's why we go down the list. And broaden the collarbones, scapula wide and long down the back. So the same cues that your teacher says, do them in your mind. So you want to record what it sounds like, what I'm telling you, and you do it in your practice at home, and you're like, in my checklist. Okay, my check, broaden, and then you know it about yourself. Like, I always forget this, so make a note so you don't. Yeah, that looks better. How's your legs feeling in that position? Like, how is the backs of your legs?
Stretch.
They're super tight?
No, my calves are really tight.
Okay. They can use it for calf stretch a lot. But yeah, you can focus on the quarter dog leg muscle, and if you come down onto your knees and just have your hands and slide your tail back, so trying to get that like hammock feeling in the chest. And then from here, if you can come up and look at me a little bit, hopefully you can see I'm gonna rotate and then rotate. So I'm just working on like some more shoulder flexibility. And getting myself to lift, and put them down, lift and put them down, and try to find the best place. A lot of time through the shoulder joint, we have these adhesions that build, and the shoulder joints doesn't sit in the right place because there's fascia underneath it. So it just might be a little bit of like half training your body in the movement and half going for some therapy or spending extra time with like a ball in your back, in your trap. Because if the scapula can't slide and be in its proper place, you're gonna feel a little bit out of alignment. You mind if I like stick my finger in?
Sure.
Oh yeah, dude, you need some like a massage. Yeah. Yeah. It's easy. And you guys are young too, right? So get some massage, get some therapy. If massage is difficult, you don't have time or you don't have budget, get one like this. I don't know, that's my mom got that one. I don't know where she got it. Maybe Decathlon has or something, or the lacrosse ball. This one is a double room. And when I have those issues, I will just like work out my knots. This is super gnarly. I'll spend like 40 minutes minimum working stuff out. Yeah, dude, that's for one side of my body. Yeah. I'm 40, man. 40 minutes, 1 minute for every year. So you only need a half an hour right now. You only need a half an hour, yeah. If I do my ideal warm-up, say I have all the time in the world, my perfect day. Yeah, I have like 90 minutes that I start with that hip tilt, like that style. That style, tilting the hips, the claw, go do leg stretches, open my legs that way, and then see where I need the ball. I work a lot in my legs with the ball, a lot. When I have a tight neck. More when I was younger, I would just like crank my neck and be like, oh, digging in my neck. And I realized how fascia works, how the body works. And it's actually a lot of stuff down here that I can release that will free my neck a little bit. So yeah, work out a little bit of that, work out stuff through the lower body, especially because you're like running and marathoning. So if you have super tight through your fascia chains, it's gonna affect. And you're studying, you know what I mean? So when you take these minutes for your body for therapy, like it's never a waste of time. It's never a waste of time. I'm just gonna check my notes. I don't care, but I can read. I love having cameras. I'm always like, what are they doing out there? All right. Yeah, no, your therapy, like, it's not even yoga, it's not even dance, it's not even anything, it's like really just like going into your body. I wish that this was like normal, encouraged for people to have like a practice of their body. Instead, we're like, oh, I have an issue, someone fix me, and often they might make it worse because they don't know what's going on, you know what I mean? Or you're asking them to do something that you didn't actually, because we think, so it's just like, the more time that you just spend getting to know your body, what you need to do, let's see, will come more intuitive to you. Okay, let's go, we're going to learn, pigeon pose. This one overlaps into yin territory also. There's in they call it the sleeping swan. But it has different activations and points, it has different intentionality. The yin poses that I'm teaching are the archetypal poses of yin. What does that mean? That means that the 5 archetypal poses, from those poses, they target all the segments that you need. But there's main one poses. So I'm gonna kind of like go back and forth between yin and yang world. Pigeon is page 154. Sleeping swan is not in for the record, so just I'll be referring to it, but it's not in the book. But I'll give you the archetype that is. So. For the pigeon pose. This is one, and you've been with me when I've done this. This is one that I know has a very strong bend in the knee. And so it's not suitable for all populations or people who have had knee injuries. Even sometimes bending the knee like this is just not safe. Again, knees don't twist. So this position does kind of put that torque on the knee, so we have to be careful to not have that so much. So, if I come into the pigeon pose, I'll start at table pose. I'll bring my knee forward to my hip and then I'll slide the back leg back. Some people, this is it already. This is the pose. They're like, oh, I can't go anywhere from here, or they're even here, So what can I do for them? I'll probably put them in figure 4, if that's where they stop. But here, then when you bring your knee forward and you're able to be here, you're gonna rotate your foot towards the front. There's many schools that say put your shin bone in line with the front of your mat. It's not possible for most people, so be very careful. And it can twist the bone. Our target segment is through the glute and through the IT band for this. And then I'll also extend back. If I come into this pose, can you see my butt in the mirror here? So it's lifted, right? I can also put it so it's not lifted, but I'm gonna keep it lifted for the purpose of this tutorial. Actually, I'll switch sides so you can see better. So I can be here and really grounded. So I'm like stretching myself back so I can be super grounded. And I have a super back bend, super compression in my low back. If I'm up here like this, maybe the block is even too high, but like something a little smaller than the block. And then I will hold here because this is an active, yang pose. I'm really stretching through the groin, I'm stretching through the hip. I want to come here, bring the leg a little more, it stretches a little more, and then I'll do my 4 breaths, really lengthening up, holding. Usually hands on the ground, or often hands on blocks to give people a little bit of a lift. Because like I'm up even on my fingers. If I come down like this, I start to go into yin world. I start to melt. So if you're in a yang class, then yes, hatha class, it's active. So I'm squeezing through my glutes, I'm squeezing through my back and pressing the chest, opening through the collarbones, and then you can inhale the arms up. This can be very, very strong contraction in the low back, and you'll want to take counter pose after, such as child's pose. Like I said, if someone goes here and they're just like, now what? Put them in figure 4. Because they're like It's not gonna happen. What are some things? Usually people with like, again, the bigger body people, their body is just not shaped for that. People with shorter legs and arms, they definitely need the assist. But people with, again, different bone structure, especially like more compact, like stocky, shorter, stockier people, they like they wouldn't do this one as an example. Their elbows won't go in more than this. So those are some poses are just for different body types. We have to remember that the yogis were like these very like thin men, the ones that pass the poses down to us, and like long, tall, lanky. So not all body types are suitable. I remember I think of her so much teaching actually, because I had to do so many mods. She was one of my students with me for like 10 years. She took all my dance classes, she took all my yoga stuff. And she was like a big lady, okay? And not like unhealthy big, but she was like big, like big, like even kind of fat, but her fat was firm. You know what I mean? It was just, she was a big lady. And so I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot from her because we're super different body type. So, I'd be like, and now do this one. And then I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh shit, like there's just no way that she can do that because of how she's shaped, So it took me a while learning that it wasn't because of lack of effort or willpower or whatever. For some students, it's just their bodies are shaped differently. So for some different poses, we would have a lot of blocks for her and cushions. So she would maybe do this one and have a cushion here under here with her blocks here, and then she could do a pigeon like this. Maybe she could bring her leg like this because there was no way she's gonna pinch these that close together because her thigh is big. So how am I gonna, if there's meat in the way, how am I gonna decrease this angle? Like, yeah, I can't, So even she put a leg like this and then get up to stretch that. Technically, it's not that relaxing, to be in a position like this. So we put her in figure 4. Then you put her in figure 4 and her boobs are huge. So they're going like on top of like, she's on her back. So think about if you have huge boobs, you're here, they're gonna be like, they're gonna be like that. Okay, so those are things that you have to think about with different body types. I mean, Egypt doesn't really have the same demographics as Canada does, I was saying that yesterday, it has, most people are, even if they're like a little bit chubby, they're not like Americans, that it's not normal here for that. So you probably won't run into that, but if you're trying to help your old aunt or something like that, so those ladies, kind of like got it in control a little bit, but so. So yeah, you might need to put a firm flat pillow under the butt or under the hip. And it's very strong. Like the variation, I have the little picture where I'm doing steeple pose to the roof, to the ceiling. My back is super, super in extension there. It's super squeezing. The QL, the low back is super engaged. So that can be very strong. It may be too strong for some people, and they might just want to do the variation where they're open, so you can really cue open through the collarbones coming through. So let's try to get into this pose. Have your blocks. I'm gonna like read through the instructions as you guys put yourself into the. And see if you have any other questions. Oh yeah, you'll start in the table pose, and let's think about sliding our right knee forward, sliding to the right wrist. Draw the right heel toward the inside of the left hip. So the right knee came to the right wrist, the heel goes to under my left hip. Little rotation here. Lengthen the left leg straight back, thigh faces down. Press the left hip forward, which is down towards the floor. Squaring the hips and the torso front. So when we say square to the front, that's like warrior one hips. Remember, they're going to the front short end of our mat. Inhale, press into the palms, pull the elbows back, sternum forward. I like to bring my hands a little farther back for this one. And so I can really open my chest and pull my shoulders down. Or like I said, be with the hands on the blocks. It makes it actually a lot more comfortable. So lifting up to the crown of the head, chin parallel to the floor, eyes open. So chin parallel to the floor is just again, that lifted crown. We're not like this, we're even. Add more stretch. We'll leave that for that, so we can inhale. And exhale here. And I often adjust this leg and I check with the rotation. Again, it's like that internal rotation will help keep my hips square to the front. If it's there for you, you can inhale the arms up. And breathe. Bring the arms down. And then I'll bring my hands front into the hands. Not like that. I like to extend and give it a shake, and then coming back into table pose. Let's replicate it on the other side. Bringing forward, lying back, that left leg. So like all of our ones, we want to make ourselves a firm base on the ground. So there's like, if you have cushions here, it's a lot more support actually. This is not as big as a block. Oh yeah, that's great. That's wonderful actually. So rolled up mat, a towel, whatever, and then I'm able to be here. It's just being down here actually is, when I go to put my arms up, it's really it ends up stressing this area quite a bit. So this little bit of support and hold, and then if it's there for you, inhale and you look up. We'll keep holding.
I'm not squared it.
Hmm?
Are my hips squared it off?
Yeah, they're as squared as you can make them for now, so yeah. Yeah, exactly, and then you correct it with the chest, good. Yeah, and then bring it down, and then from there you can practice these ones. Bringing these ones, if you're working on your flexibility, if you're trying from that position. For king pigeon. Super quad stretch. We all need super quad stretch in our life. This is not in the curriculum necessarily. I'm just telling you for your own information. We need quad stretch forever. And it's hard to get. That's a hard one to get. But yeah, you need quad stretch forever. So take a couple of breaths in your quad stretch there and do your other side because we need to do the other side. Take your time. Breath out on it. Take your time in the shake. See if there's any questions that you have about it. Yeah, and any correctional. Yeah, take your other side. So yeah, on the next page, I actually do have it. Bend one of your knees back, hold the foot. For more, how to say, engaged. So you can like have your foot in and like be pulling it like this, but if you want to work on the overall suspension of your pose, if you want to work on your overall suspension, when you have this leg, same for dancer pose, I'm actually pushing, and then we'll open. So I can bring it with no resistance also, but I want to push and open. And you can have both arms back, and you can also use your strap for this one too. So stretch out that quad. Another variation is clasping the hands behind the back, the yoga mudra hand, and opening. So we have here, we have the steeple pose, we have grab the leg, we have arms behind us. As with any of them, we can, yeah, take your time and make any neutralizing positions that you need. So you can have all of those variations. You can also, if you're in class with your students, you can be like, today we're gonna work on this pose, and you can think of many ways or poses that would assist before you get to this one. And yeah, and then anyway, with the strap, exactly. With this strap, exactly. So don't underestimate, oh yeah, you have your sweater, so exactly, like some small cushions or different props, or like, the block is sometimes a little too high. So yeah, some small, like, you know those cushions that they put on chairs? To make the chair, like, that's actually a really perfect cushion for yoga. Beam of celestial light. I was like, what is that? That's figure four. Yeah, on 155, it's under the variation. It says a pigeon is too difficult for one reason or another. Lay on the back and do beam of celestial light. That's figure four, by the way. Who called it that? I don't remember that at all. I was like, what? That's what I was saying yesterday. I was like, I wrote this manual and there's things in here I don't know where it came from. And maybe it was edited for me, but it was, she didn't change anything. She just like changed the layout, you know? Yeah. And like the fonts. Like, what the hell is that? Very good. So our press points in this one. They look at the little picture. I want my chest going forward. That's that diagonal. I want my legs extended back, not sleeping. Reaching out through the back, reaching up through the crown of the head. That front thigh, knee pressing into the ground in front of you. So yeah, pressing down. And again, really extended those 2 points on the front of the chest. Like that pec majors. Right here, we want to be like, yeah, taking like extension. I'm thinking my celestial beam of light extending from all of these places. And also the tailbone you're thinking is kind of is going down to ease a little bit of that mutation or that compression in the low back. So we have a super compression in the low back for this. And did either of you feel that when you took the arms overhead, like how much the back tight, like it's like, yeah, how much the back tightens? Again, and then you can work up to that back tightening if you want to go there and strengthen through the back. Of like having a chair in front of you, kind of pushing, like the blocks are in front of you. But if you bring like a chair here, you can kind of move up with it and kind of go back a little more, and also practicing the back bend. Also being more open through the pelvis and through the hips will help also. If people are really closed and they can't, they can't go into it. A few of these, like preps, like the lunging preps with the block, getting people to do these as a prep. Be like, okay, guys, we're gonna do pigeon today, and we're gonna prep for that. So you can use lunge prep. So I would like, have my blocks, inhale, exhale, inhale, 4 to 8 for each side. I would do and like prep them for that one. It's not an easy pose. But people love it because it's the relief in the glute and the hip is usually tight for everyone. So again, if this one is not possible, and I try to encourage students, like I was saying yesterday, like we don't want to be like, oh, well, if you can't do it, we want to be like, okay, there's a few options. We're going to stretch this segment of the body. So we can take the figure 4, or we can do this one. So I'll always give them the option of like, it's the same shape, just one has less weight. If people have had knee surgery or any type of knee issues, I will propose to them figure 4 before they even start. If they are larger bodied, as I mentioned, using the strap. And figure 4 is important, and what I mean by that is the strap on this foot. Because it's hard for them to even grab like here, and maybe some support under the head so their upper body doesn't drown them. So yeah, benefits of this pose. Lower body opening big time, gives a thorough stretch to the hips, buttocks, groin, and thigh. So groin is like your deep inner thigh. A lot of people need to stretch this place. This is a thing. Improves your breathing by expanding the chest and strengthen your lungs. Strengthens the back muscles and flushes the kidneys. So again, we felt that squeeze in the low back, the back muscle strengthening. Go easy with that because you don't want to give yourself a back spasm, especially because we're just like a little tad chilled, you know. So that's like speaking from a person who's had years of back spasms. Just be careful with the weather like that. It's not worth it. Like again, I believe in effort. I don't believe in like no pain, no gain. Don't believe in it. I believe in like don't be a lazy asshole, but also like don't hurt yourself. there's a line. So expanding the chest, and especially if you're doing any of these variations or these variations with the strap, flushes the kidneys. We felt that strong contraction of the muscle. Anytime that we do this back bend or this like compression here, it's squeezing in the kidney area and then it flushes them. The endocrine system. So it's good for your adrenals and your pancreas. And again, this is referring to like meridian health, squeezing through the kidneys and moving through that area. Develops poise and grace and symmetry in the body, opens heart chakra. So why do you think it makes poise and grace? Pretty much here's the hack is like any hip openers are gonna super improve your posture. And it's like, how is the hip opener? Because the hip is like, that's where our contact points, our feet and legs meet, and where our spine is on top of. When the hips are more open, the spine and the rest of the upper body can move more freely. And you would be surprised to know that, you know, again, this tension or knot in the neck could be from something that just needs to be opened here. So remember, the fascia is not, no part of the body is independent from any other part where they're all interwoven. Yes, we can isolate them. Yes, we can theorize on that, but they are all, make no mistake, they're connected. Common contraindications, chronic knee, back, hip injury or inflammation. So if you have back issue, knee issues, hip joint issues, this pose puts force and pressure and torque on all of those areas. So always encourage yourself and your students to just move slowly. My teachers called it try on the pose. So that means I don't go into it all the way like we did with the awkward pose. We're like, go down, inhale, go down, exhale, come on. And trying it. How are my knees today? Checking it. And if you just jump into your final pose and you're like, shit, I'm stuck. Like that, you know, you wanna avoid that. The common problems are the hips not square as possible. One hip floating in space, so that's when we put a cushion or a block under it. What I just said, moving too quickly through the various stretch, don't just jump into it. Too goal oriented, I'm gonna do it. It's like, okay, you're gonna do something else too. Pull a muscle, you know. Confusion about the foot position. So when you're in this position, your foot, let it go just wherever it goes naturally. Some people, their foot goes more pointed, some people it goes more flexed. doesn't matter, as long as they don't have pain in the ankle, then that's fine. There's a, let people's ankles just do what they do naturally for everything. There is like, we can groom that a little bit, but when it comes to that or any of these, like when we put our legs behind, some people, their foot goes very easily in this position. Some people, it goes like this, let them do the thing. Some people, their foot just won't do that. And it's a bone on bone thing, it's not something that they can change. So forgetting to work with the press points, which is that open feeling to create the back bend. So when you call it pigeon, it's this active, it's in the hatha family. When I do yin version of this, it's called sleeping swan. And I like it a lot more than the young version. It's a lot more relaxing. And again, because you're taking hybrid curriculum, you can choose to put it in one or the other. So for sleeping swan and yin, all of the setup points are the same. And you just don't need to be actively squeezing anything. You put like, so remember when you go into yin, you're going into melting land, you're going into timed, beautiful, long hold stretch. So let's get into that position. And bring your blocks in the front. So we're gonna come into that position. And bring yourself down. So again, the main difference is you can be more lazy. We still have the target segment, which is the IT band of the glute. And then we want to make sure that the knee is okay. Maybe bring or even like a little like on the edge. Sometimes you don't need just try different ones and see. Like this. Yeah, a little bit, or like this, I'll shoot. Sometimes I don't need the whole block there. Maybe you do, but just try and see. So maybe you just like a little bit of, just so some of the meat is on it, not the whole, you know what I mean? But anyway, experiment with it and see. Because you do want to have some of that like tension hanging down. And so then when I come into this shape, when I'm doing yin, I'll bring my blocks here and I'll even walk my upper body away from that knee. I can like walk and twist and I'll get more of a stretch into my hip. And I'm like, oh, more. So let's hold this with some joy. Find your stretch here on time. So I always time, we'll do 3 minutes for each side. So find your breath, bring that in. You can also add your micro movements and yin. You can add like a gentle rocking. Maybe once I'm there for 2 minutes, I'm gonna change it a little bit and I scooch my my shin forward of the front leg with my foot. I just wiggle it slightly forward. And you can be all the way like down on the ground, very sleeping. You can be on your elbows, you can be on your blocks, you can be turning it. You can be under a blanket, you know, yin is so good. Love. And just breathe into that hip. Really try to feel the line of tension that we're putting on that IT band and glute. Alright, and so very slowly, taking, especially when you're yinning on this. In the hatha, I will press my arms and come out like active, but when I'm yinning, I'm gonna just kind of roll myself out of it. I wanna reduce, I have tension on the line of tension. I just wanna gradually, slowly, it's pulling. I wanna just gradually, slowly take the tightness off of it, so I just move slow. Remember, yin, you're moving like slow, like how slow can you move? And then I'll slowly lengthen that leg. And then I'll get ready for the other side. So another big difference between hatha and yin is that we won't always do a counter stretch in yin. We'll kind of just let the body be in that rebound state. Whereas in hatha, we'll take an active counter stretch for the body. So let's set it up for the other side. And then you can take notes. One side needs more stretching than the other. What's going on here? Put into the position, put on the timer. And breathe. Isn't this one nice knitting? 2 minutes left on this side. Let's see if there's any micro movements that you can make. One and a half minutes. I'm gonna run and let my dog out into the street. BRB. 21 seconds to go.
Yeah, I'm good. Was there any?
One, two. Slowly take your path of least resistance coming out. But keep in mind, there's nothing stopping you when you're designing your own class from going between yin and yang. However, you don't want to super yin out too much and then go into yang ones. Like maybe the first half of your class could start hatha style, and then you do kind of like the ending segueing in, because again, yin, we're attacking the connective tissue. When I'm doing yang activities, I need my connective tissue to support me, and I'm activating the muscles like this more pumping action, you know? So if my connective tissue is feeling all like loose and unstable because I just stretched it, it's not gonna be able to hold me. Or like I wouldn't do, after this, I wouldn't do balancing poses as an example, or strong standing poses. If I were doing the pigeon like this and holding it for any amount of minutes, and you don't have to stay that long. We super just yinned out on that. I could do 4 breaths like that also. But yeah, I would just stay down. If I did that in class, I wouldn't be like, now let's do the rest of the sun salute, like, you know, I would blend them that way. So just keep in mind that way. Now we're gonna cross over to the square in the shoelace on page 179. So what does that look like to you guys? Maybe one that we just did. Maybe it looks like one we just did. So when I'm talking about segments of the body, this is what I mean. So we just pretty much did the same segment of the body. This one was a little deeper. I find the square or the shoelace really gets into the piriformis, this like very small under the glute. Like pigeon will do IT band and glute, or glute max, and then I feel like these square or shoelace gets more into like glute medius, minimus, and piriformis inside. Like deep into the deep into the rotators of the hip, not just the big external glutes. So, yeah, the target segments is the gluteus muscle group, medius maximus minimus, external rotators, okay, good. Possible to target the spine and other joint segments in the asana, especially lower back, you can target. And it's a gallbladder channel, not important for your journey right now. So this one, if there's knee issues, hip issues, like arthritis, it's a little pinching. We come back again to the example of a bigger body doing it, very difficult, just because of the closeness of the limbs. So yeah, this one, there's a few options. Square and shoelace is having your legs in front of you, and then having one on the top. And one like knee to foot, foot to knee on both sides, and it should be your bottom. And then for your hovering leg, you have this if you need it. Just see. In yin, we want to avoid body parts floating if we can. And then when you're here, you take it forward slightly. What if you try sitting on a block also? Lifting yourself a bit. Or 2 if you need another. Yeah, it might be a little easier to get your rotation. So there's the square is this one, so square shoelace, they're very similar. And we have this back hip stretching. Then you can begin out and in going forward. And this is what they mean by also stretch the back, but when you come forward, it's putting more tension. Also observe that tension because what is going on is we have rotation happening in the hip socket. So they say for the instructions, come into a comfortable seated position. Try sitting on a rolled up mat or a cushion if necessary, or a block. Externally rotate the femur, so that's turning out, and allowing the knees to fall away from one another. Stack the lower legs, the shin bones atop one another, creating a square hip shape with the legs. You should feel a creative tension in the hips. You guys all feel that? Where's your, so.
My problem is that. Which one? I
Oh,
can't go further.
Yeah, no, it's objectively different.
yeah, well, maybe both, but more on the top leg. Yeah, maybe both, but more on the top leg. So that's square, and if you're like, I don't feel anything there, then you can try shoelace where you further cross the legs and bring knee on top of knee. And then go into there. Yeah, what about it against the sitting one? Then that will be like in the joint. And then you can choose your favorite one. Anyway, and you can make a block like this exactly, and you can be chilling, you can go very more chilling, very more chilling. I like to be very more chilling. Okay. So let's stretch this out. God, I saw, not on topic, but just things that are funny. My friend who lives in Maadi, and he saw someone in a Santa Claus costume walking.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hi, Santa," from his window, and Santa's like, "Hello, have you been a good boy this year?" He's like, "I'm doing my best." He's like, "Bravo, Habibi." I was like, that is so funny. Thank you for sharing that. So Santa is mad. Yeah, you've been looking for Santa. He's cruising around mad. I like watched this story like 10 times and laughed. I was like, oh my god. It's so funny. And just the fact that he said, "Were you a good boy?" Like he what do they call that? Matching the vibe. Like, yeah. Santa didn't miss a beat. It's really funny. So again, like with all yin poses, I don't just jump out of it. I want to take my path of least resistance. I'll use my hands wherever they are. I'll push them into the ground. I'll press back, roll back slowly, and I feel the tension just like dissolving slowly. So I just come a little bit off. Let your body kind of guide you. Just don't rush. Let your body guide you. You can even use your hands to like help yourself if you want to stay in that melty yin vibe. So I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna start first with the square. And then you're gonna get to know your turnout on either side. So, okay, is my square better on this side? Is it better on that side? How's my rotation? So you can just start with square and see how it feels. Then again, this is one that just take a breath or two here. And then we'll go into shoelace. So,
It's truly different on this side.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because one leg is your like, kind of like how we're right-handed and left-handed, one leg is gonna be like more your stability leg. Like, I don't know if you play sports like football, kicking the ball, like you're gonna brace if you're right-handed, most of the time you're gonna brace on your left and kick on your, so your left leg is usually more stable, maybe more tight sometimes. But yeah, it also could be just that the hip socket, the bones are not identical, could be. But yeah, that's important to know, and so we observe these things on our own body, we must remember about the other bodies that will be in our care at that time. Yeah, maybe they have skeletal variations, so again, with yin especially, we're in the concept of sensation-based alignment, so I'm just like. Very pay attention to what's going on in my body, be very present with myself. And tell, what am I feeling, cause I could be feeling sensation. But is it pain, is it just intensity, is it actual stretching, is it bone on bone? There's no way to know unless you pay attention, and people really suck at paying attention. So pretty much part of becoming a yoga teacher is you become a professional at paying attention. And not to just yourself, but to others also. We'll see if you can adjust it, if it's there, you don't have to, you can take one of the. You can take one of the options. We'll have that, yeah. I was like, this side's fine, and then I went here, oh. And then breathe. But yeah, some hip openers, you need them. Or about inner and outer. So some of the contraindications for this, like I was just saying, not all hip rotations can accommodate this. So beware of pressure on the knees, there shouldn't be any pressure on the knees. And just remember, not all forms are suitable for all bodies. Anyway, please take care and be aware of any and all sensations that you may feel around the knees. So again, the sensation-based alignment is part of feeling and identifying the intensity that we feel in the body. So not everything that we feel is a stretch. Sometimes what we're feeling is compression. In Pigeon, as an example, when we lifted our arms up and really contracted the back. Some people might be like, I'm stretching my back, because they feel something in the back. It's not a stretch, it's a contraction, you know, so just like you have to remember that the general population is super out of touch with your body. Like if you feel like you're learning a lot about your body in this training, imagine people who've never done anything about it, you know. So they're gonna come to you as the expert of their body. And then just see the rest. So slowly as you're ready, begin to roll up. Taking the tension off. Just letting your legs after. Nice counter for that, or neutralizer, is having the feet in front of us and just doing very easy windshield wipers. Just kind of taking the hips through their range of motion. Any questions for these? Pigeon, the square or the shoelace, sleeping swan, they all are targeting the same segment when we go into yin. And then it's completely different, similar shape when we're doing the hatha. Quite generally, if you feel like you need more work in this area of the body, these shapes, what we're doing right now, this, just taking my, I'm rotating my leg through its entire possible range of motion and then. Even then bringing it up. I'll flex it, so I'm still rotating, I can even. Get my help. My own help. And then like anyway, building that strength through the glute of bringing it up. But yeah, moving the hips. And then when we're in those lunges, like when we're doing the lunge with the flop. When I'm doing these ones, I'll also kind of like take my leg out to the side, turn it in. Turn it in. Just try to move it through all the ways that it can get to know, like, do I have any bone on bone things there? Or it's just like stuff I can work on with my flexibility, you know? And that's really only you, unless you get an x-ray of your pelvis, you won't know. So it's just spending time. When my daughter was here this summer, she had gotten into sports. She was like a theater kid before. And the last year she's gotten into sports and she was playing a lot and she wanted to work out. I was like, yeah, let's work out. And then so I was like, okay, let's do like Pilates, standing Pilates with some yoga stuff, whatever. And so we were doing some yoga and I was like trying to correct her plank a little bit. And I was like, okay, like just pull in here and widen through the shoulders. And she was like, oh, I haven't been doing yoga for like 20 years like you. And I was like, whoa, calm down. Like she was 17, right?
Oh, that age.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, like, dude, she thought she was gonna like smoke me in the workout because I'm old and because I'm expired now. And I was like, oh. And she's like, I've been doing yoga for 20 years like you. And I was like, thought about it. And I was like, yeah, you know, so however long you've been doing sports, however long you've been doing yoga, I didn't think about it. And honestly, I mean, she's strong. I wouldn't be able to run across the soccer field for an hour. Like, definitely not. I'll be like, my face will be like red, like more than this. Like you're, it'll be like that. Like, swear to God. Like that red emoji with the demon with the teeth. I'm like, that's me when I work out. Like, really, I'm like, so it was the muscle memory and training the muscle memory. And then I thought about literally how many times I've done that, and I it's impossible for me to realize. And if I was training my body into the lines of doing it improperly, and I had my phase of like going to every yoga class I can, maybe not necessarily paying attention, and then having my injuries from it. So it was really injuries that taught me to pay attention and like you're asking about that downward dog slide. Just spend time with it, like just repetition. I know in 2025 no one wants to hear that. They're like, I want to download it now. Like, you know what I get it. But it's really simplify, repetition. Yeah, I haven't been doing it for 20 years like you. I was like, whoa, sensitive. Okay. All right, let's go into page 122. No questions on this one? You're gonna you will come back later. Put it in your practice. Should be the bridge. Super good for the glutes. So we've seen so far in all of our poses, there's a lot of cues of squeeze your glutes and engage the glutes. So if you're finding that you're having any problem with this, this is a great exercise to engage the glutes as an exercise and not as a yoga pose. Okay, there's a few things to look for in this pose. Yeah, there's a few things. So see, look at that shape in my lovely double chin in this little picture, very flattering. If I had again the huge boob situation, it's gonna be what? Falling in my face, so it's not necessarily an ideal situation to put your bigger bodied people into. How can they get that similar benefit of strengthening the glute? You can put them in a table pose with leg presses up and back. So they would be like this to engage the glutes one at a time. Or even if they can't do on the knees, you can stand and kind of do like ballet, back, 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 leg extension, engaging the glute. This is another one that we want to have the knees tracking over the toes. So yesterday I was talking about the knees tracking over the toes. With the example again. Where when, as an example, if I'm here, I want my knee going over my foot. I don't want it going out. I see how there's this space here, or I don't want it going in. So I have to use the engagement of my thigh, tracking over the toes. So same in Utkatasana, I don't want to go out, I don't want to go in. The awkward pose, same for this. So I'll demo it and then I'll walk you guys through it. So coming onto the back, the same way that we always do, I lengthen myself down and I'm gonna tilt and flatten my back into the floor. I'll bring my feet about hip distance apart and close to my bottom. People will need to experiment and make sure that there's no knee pain is number one. And to find that maybe they need to go a little further, maybe they need to come a little closer. So from here, I'm gonna press into my feet, the whole foot, and I'm gonna start to curl my tail off the floor. Like, so we have that action, arching, contracting that we started with. It's like, I keep contracting and I push. It's like my tailbone, I'm pulling it up and through, and I'll push and roll up, 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 and then you can get them to just try this one and then go back down. And I use the cue one vertebra at a time. So what do I mean by this? I'll move all this so you can see my torso. I don't want to just go. See how all that part of my back's not even on the floor. So I want to be on the floor slowly. Cubic bone is like coming towards me, up, 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 pushing into the floor. Now my legs are squeezing, my thighs are squeezing, squeezing my glutes up, up, up. You can even use your hands to help, up, 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 up. And then when I go back down, I want to be like upper back, middle back, lower back, like slowly, slowly, and then my low back. Finally into there. When I go up and hold fully, I will do tell them to do 4 breaths. Inhale slowly, coming up one vertebrae at a time, lifts, curling your tail in between your knees, bringing the cubic bone towards the sternum. Coming up, breathing at the top, you can watch your rise and fall. I'll get them to do 4 up and then 4 down, and then hold. If you find for yourself or for your students that the knees are going kind of crazy, then using exercise band really helpful. And it will help activate some of the muscles in here. A lot of times we're just worried about stretching them. So then the exercise band. And if you have back pain, this is like a stabilizing exercise. Yeah, I had a lot of extra stabilizing work. One of my brothers is a corrective exercise specialist. So he has given me lots of hacks and tips and tricks. So I have it so close. And then when I roll up, I have a little more stability. I don't need to really think. So if I don't have that strength in the glute as I come up, this will help. I can even move my feet out a little bit because I have this containment from the band. And really, I think about flattening the front of my pelvis and just squeezing to lift. I'll bring my hands together and even wiggle my shoulder blades together and push down. And it's hard to breathe. And I'll just watch the rise and fall of the belly. When you're ready to come out, open the shoulders. My shoulders came out from each other, and I'll even lift so I can get that one vertebrae at a time. Down, 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 down. And then stretch. Get some dams and don't have them both. Really, really good to have. So now I'll walk you through it. And we'll do the process of doing 4 inhale and then up. Yeah, the band will really, and then feel free to try the band, you guys, to feel the difference. Do it once without it, and then or twice without it, and then try it with it. That's really night and day thing. Yeah, coming onto your back, widen the back. Anytime I come onto my back, sometimes I like to pull my knees into my chest and just really flatten my back out and get the whole thing flat on the ground. All right, and now you can bring your feet down. You're gonna have your knees bent and right over your ankles. You can see, feel how your knees feel, pulling the feet close to the buttocks, close to your bum. And then resting with the arms beside the body. Lengthen the back of the neck by bringing your chin to the chest. Inhale and begin to press your feet into the floor as you curl your tailbone under, curl the coccyx under between your knees and begin to gradually lift one vertebrae at a time off the floor. Pushing into the floor, go up to your highest for now. And then exhale, allow yourself to roll back down one vertebrae at a time. Take your time. And then again, taking your time, readjust your feet from the floor if you need to. Every time a readjustment. Maybe I want to try my feet a little bit further away from me. Maybe I want to try them closer to me, a little trail wider, but not too wide. And again, pressing up, rolling the tail between the legs, rolling all the way up, almost cutting off your breath at the top. And when you reach your top, roll slowly back down. You put it above the knees when you cut it. So yeah, if you feel like you have any instability in the pelvis or the hips, the strap, blah, 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 blah. So now we'll take yourself through it 2 more times, see how it goes. See about any adjustments. Even when you're up at the top of your stretch, top of your expression, see about adjusting the feet in that position. So really detail that tilt. It's the cat tilt. It's like when we're curling our tail under. Start with that. The whole rest of the body will follow. So now when you have your hips lifted, see if you can bring your feet a little closer to your body. Just and breathe, and then roll it back down, and then make one more. At any time between them, also, girls, you can pull your knees into your chest. You take a little bit of release of your back.
harder using the bands,
Harder in what way?
like my butt
Mm-hmm.
and my lower back.
Like more pressure, you mean? Yeah, it's probably helping align. Cause you could definitely use some more like strength. So if it's just like muscle effort, do you mean harder?
In the quads, like it's more like my muscles are more.
Yeah, muscle effort. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
I don't know how it affects my lower back when I use the one.
How it will affect your lower back, I'll tell you. And yeah, pass the band to the girls so they can try, and I'll tell you about this while they're doing, so how it affects your lower back. Let's look at this skeleton. So, when I have the band around my knees here, when I don't have the band. I'm going like this, I'm going like this, I'm going like this. My legs can go like this or this, and so instead of doing a straight line of work, my body is always going to try to take the easier. My body wants to do what's more easy. We love to rest, we love to relax. So when I have the tension of the band, my muscles here, I'm like, if you put your hands on my knees right here, like I'm pushing, like more squeeze me, and I'm more. So of course I'm working more because the band is holding that. So if I'm not pushing it, take.
So it will be relaxing a bit to the outside.
Yeah. So this is keeping you from relaxing and building strength that your body is trying to avoid. Is trying to avoid doing it. So it will actually, if you add the band, it will grow your strength. And then you don't need to do it all the time. I was having some bad back issues, back spasm issues, because these ones were not like they need to push out because of the suspension of my skeleton. So here. All of this, remember, we're talking, is supporting my back. So when it's weak here and collapsing, my back is like not as like up. I still am upright, but it's like all the muscles are like working so hard because the stabilizers are not strong. So the more I strengthen that and brought this shape more to my pelvis, the wideness for my muscles to be holding me, then my back was able to be more free. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So yeah, it is harder, but it's muscle effort. So you're just like building your strength. The only what we want to stay away from is when we have pain that's like when pain makes you do that, like
So it's affecting the nerves. Around the spine.
exact anywhere. Or the knee, maybe it's an acute pain, it's like
I feel that when I sit for long hours on the chair, I feel that.
yeah,
I do
just
that.
starting the spasm. So in our yoga poses, the only feeling that we want to go, like I said, I don't believe in no pain, no gain. I believe in effort. But I believe in smart effort. So that's why we educate ourselves, and like getting stronger will always benefit us. Always benefit us, especially like women as we get older. We lose our bone density, like our collagen go lots of effects. Lots of effects. So we lose bone density, the collagen goes down, and the best way we can just support ourselves is to literally just become stronger. And becoming stronger hurts a little bit. But we don't want dangerous hurting. So we do want to have that effort and that sweat and where I feel burning, like the muscle burning, but not we call it acute pain, like your doctor would say acute pain, like when you touch a burner and it burns you hot, like you don't want to stay away from that as much as possible. But to push ourselves and burn our muscles, that's very good for us, yeah. Okay, any notes, feedbacks about the strap versus not with the strap? And the strap again is from like corrective exercise, adding it into yoga, crossing over. Because like I said, you'll observe a lot of things and you can do the poses fine without these tweaks to your strength and to your stuff. I'm really just trying to show you how to have a well-balanced body, generally. So when you walk in the room and your students see you, they're like, this person knows what they're talking about. Because you can tell if someone works in their body or not. You can tell. Like I've been to so many places and I find my people because I'm like, it's a dancer. I can tell. Like I can tell. And they're like, hey, what, you know, usually they're like, are you a yoga teacher? Probably because I'm dressed like this. But you know, you can tell someone who works on their body. You can tell when you see guys from an athlete team around. They can tell they're footballers, you know, you can tell. So a lot of this stuff is not just doing yoga and doing yoga, it's a whole holistic science, you know, the whole thing. And now we're lucky enough that we have all of this other supporting science, that we can do hacks, we do biohacking, we have all of this stuff. Yeah, any other notes? Who felt a big difference or small difference with the strap? Anything else?
Was supported, like that tension, kind of like a tension bridge.
Exactly.
You have that.
That's what I got Tina. I said, so I feel like this. I said, so now like squeeze my knees together with your hands, and then I had like this.
Yeah.
You know, so then I'm activated here.
Yeah.
So everything is activating, and I'm just like more strong. So we've seen it at some other poses. What was it yesterday? When the glutes weren't turned on. Which one was that? Can't remember. It was one of them. You know what I'm talking about though, right? I was like, okay, now go back and then try squeezing and engaging.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a similar thing because we get so used to being not engaging.
Like I feel with this one without the band, it's so easy to just stack your joints on top of each other and not engage. Like you can rely on stacking.
Yeah, just push. Yeah, exactly. So when we're doing hatha, we want to stay very activated and active.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need some corrective exercise techniques to like activate.
With the sciatica and with the sports.
Maybe not pressing all the way up so strong, but it's not like a pure yes, pure no. It will be, that's why you will get them to go up, see how they're doing, and then go back down.
With the hips, what the feet.
Yeah, there's no rules for everything across the board because bodies are so different. So that's why I would get them to do how we did first, come up and see how it is and then go back down. And then if they have any pinching, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. Often people with sciatica, they're jammed up, they're sitting for too long. So any movement in this area, they need it. They need it. So we kind of did 1, 2, and 3 all together. So this one strengthens your back, your shoulders, your legs, does your glutes. Any glute challenge? I don't know if you guys have spent time in your glute challenge. I hope you do. They start with bridges to activate the glutes so you can feel. Relieves tension, flexes and relieves tension in the thoracic and lumbar region of the body. Affects the kidneys again, squeezing out that back bend, stimulates your adrenals, heart opener, stretches through the front of the body, abdominal muscles, brings, blood to the thyroid, improves complexion because it's bringing blood to your face. May develop flexibility in wrists depending on hand position. Don't know why. Opens the heart chakra. So again, shoulder, neck, back injuries or pregnancy because it's just too much tightness. Like it's too tight. So the problems that we should look for is the knees out of alignment, or they're not tracking with the feet. We want to be sure of that. We're holding tension and not breathing. And we're forgetting to lift through the sternum from there. So Again, and this teaching tip at the bottom, having students pay attention to smoothness rather than how high. You can say that for all of everything. You can say that for all of everything. Okay. I have one more that I wanna do, but let's take our lunch, as then you can tell you because maybe you're restless. So let's take lunch and we'll be back at. What is it, 2, we'll be back at 3. And then we will go into homework. If you didn't finish it, you better finish it on your lunch. Minus 800 points. So we have Phoebe, you'll do your test after lunch. We have our essays about why we do yoga, tell me why, and then your homeworks from last night. So we'll do that after lunch. So I'm very generously giving you a heads up to finish it if you didn't finish it. And for anyone that tried the warmth, if you have any feedback or maybe you need to try it more, yeah, please tell me. I'm like trialing this for a friend of mine.